Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
It's time. Are you glad to be here? Hello. This used to be a favorite t-shirt and I can wear it again. So I'm pleased as punch with that. Hello. Jocelyn's in the house. So is Jackie and Marguerite. I see Flynn, Doris. I see June. Yay. Jocelyn is in the house. It's so good to have you here. I'm enjoying kind of a weird, muggy-ish day, but you know what? There's going to be beauty popping in here and there, so that's something that I find to be totally exciting. Amber's in the house. Amber's traveling and doing a bunch of stuff. Jenny's in the house, of course. Here there, girls, Steph and Gloria. Mary Ann is here. Good to see you. Vicki, thanks for showing up. I'm so glad you're all here. And there's Margaret. Hot Milk 30. Here come the hashtags. Little bombs, little truth bombs of fun and declaration. Don't you love it? Manifestos of sorts. It is. You know what was on my calendar today, which is so great? Worrying is praying for stuff you don't want. Can anybody see that as the truth bomb that it is? I mean, that just made my head blow right off my shoulders. And of course, it's going in our next quote deck. I promise you. Hello, Sarah. She's got Clark for a weekend visit. I'm so excited. Check your messages too, by the way. Check your messages. I sent you a message. So this is I love Soulful Saturday because this is kind of, in my opinion, this is where we kind of tie the whole situation up. This whole week, we've been talking about little hinges. Because little hinges are the things that swing open great big doors. Without a hinge, a door is just a big piece of wood. Without a hinge properly installed, that door isn't going to be connecting quite well. I love this whole thing. I mean, I could go on with that, right? I'm just making you all crazy. But I'm not. I've already done that all this week. But today I'm going to be really wrapping this whole thing up and talk about what the secret sauce to this whole idea of the little hinge, the little hinge. I'm glad to see, look at all of you coming in here. I'm so glad to see you all. It really is. It delights me that and it still surprises me from time to time. I'm just like, oh, what if they don't come? And then here you are. Yay. It's so good. So this week, we are talking about the little hinges. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. We are talking about the little hinges, how they swing open great big doors, and the important reason why we need to get a grip less on the door and more on the hinge. Because once we have that hinge, that door is a piece of cake. I don't care how big it is. If we've got the hinge, we've got the door. Amen? So we're talking about that. And today, the whole thing that I have for you and the secret sauce to that is never quitting. Believe it or not, that is one of the biggest little hinges. And this was like an aha moment for me. And I'm going to share this with you because, again, what I've shared with you this whole week has been out of my own experience, because I can't sit here and testify about your little hinges in your life. I can just share my experience. That's all I can do, because, I'm just as human as you are. And we all do this together, and we find that we're always, at least most of the time, on similar paths, all trying to do the right thing, all trying to get the right stuff going, trying to have this vibrancy in our lives, trying to be the best spouse that we can, the friend and, companion and all of it, and gosh, don't we fail miserably at times? Don't we? And I did a show a while back, if you remember, and it was about, being okay with, somebody thinking you're wrong and letting it go. I did that. And I was thinking about that today quite a bit. I was thinking about, because that's part of the whole not quitting thing, and I was thinking about just everything in context of family and friends, working relationships, and how do you, when is enough, and when do you go forward, and when do you do, and regrets, not having regrets, and life is just, it's just complicated. It is, because there's always decisions to make, and I think one of the reasons why we make maybe poor decisions, or we find ourselves in this place of going, why did I do that? I believe that's just simply because of the fact that we have not yet lined up with the feelings that we have inside our higher self. And I've got a lot to say about that today. And we're going to talk about this. Hi, Noreen. I'm glad you're here. And we're going to talk about this and line ourselves up. There's Lindsay. Did everybody say hi to Lindsay? Lindsay Davis, our new customer service rep. And fun fact, she's got a bunch of cats. Who knew? I love giving you all a little bit of grief. So anyway, that's what we do. This is how we line up and just keep going in our lives, regardless of all and we don't ever just get it and everything's just perfectly dialed in, is it? We keep thinking that time is going to come, but it doesn't. It doesn't. I find myself thinking, well, I'm 63 years old. Shouldn't I get this by now? Well, not necessarily. There's a lesson there for me to learn, and I'm not above lesson learning. I'm not above somebody saying, hey, you're wrong. I'm not above any of that. And I'm not above eating humble pie either. And I don't think any of us should be, because this is how we go forward. And this is part of the never quitting thing. It's part of the never quitting thing, is being able to admit, hey, not quite there, not quite there. So anyway, I told you, I teased the dickens out of you yesterday, didn't I? Teased the dickens out of you yesterday and said, today I'm going to announce the theme for Full Bloom. Now I'm telling you this and I'm putting it out there, and I want your honest opinion. And as a matter of fact, speaking of honest opinions, we also have a poll going on right now in our Facebook Hot Milk Sprint group. Jenny just put it up, and it's a poll asking, would you want to see our gala, which is coming up, by the way, mark your calendars. What is it? Oh boy, July 13th and 14th. A Wednesday and a Thursday. We'll do it exactly like we did last time at 1 p.m. regular time, 7 p.m. that night. So it's going to be 4 of them. And this is where we're going to dress up. You guys, I am ordering something sequiny and ridiculous. I just am. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to do the whole, who's going to dress up with me for the gala? Come on. Galas are great. We need to dress up and do our thing. I want you to dress up and do your thing. It's going to be fun, fun, fun. It's going to be fun. So mark your calendars, will you? That is a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Tuesday and a Wednesday, isn't it? Am I correct, Jenny? Right. July 13th and 14th. Yep. 1 p.m., 1 p.m., 7 p.m., 7 p.m., all Eastern. It's going to be fun. See, Jenny's going to, you're going to get your fun on, aren't you? The gala was fun. Vanessa, you had a good time. Sharon's going to be there. Sharon was the big winner of didn't you get Butcher Box last time? Gloria's going to be there. I know you're all going to be there. Hi, Suzanne. I'm glad you're here now. But I just wanted you to know about that. Now, I put that out there. The poll is going to ask you, would you want to do it like we do it all the time? We use this stuff, what is it, StreamYard, I guess, and it streams to both Facebook and to YouTube. Or how about this? We do the whole thing on Crowdcast. The reason I say this, and it's an extra step and you have to register and it's a pain. It's where we always do our webinars. It's also where we do our slumber parties. It's where we can get down with our bad selves and play music, have fun. And Facebook isn't watching and slapping us down and telling us what to do and saying, no, you can't play that music. So you tell me, what do you want? You want it here like normal? Or should we move it over to Crowdcast? Will you register? can I ask you to register? You know, when we do webinars, you register all the time. So why wouldn't you register for this? Anyway, it's a question. I'm asking a question. There's no right answer. You know how I'm bent, obviously, because I want to do more stuff than we did last time. So it's our midsummer gala. Oh, June doesn't know what a gala is. June. It's just a fun time. And, you know, we have special deals and we get together and it's so much better. Sharon's saying Crowdcast. I know why Sharon's saying Crowdcast. This girlfriend wants to dance. And the other thing that I get a chance to do on Crowdcast that I can't do here, I can bring you on screen and we can chair dance together, right? That's why. So just take a gander at that screen. And would you participate in that for me, please? Leave your comments. We'll make a decision. We'll tell you all about it. I just had to throw that out there. The other thing that I want to do is I'm going to take you through everything in today's talk, but I just want you to, you know, kind of get ready for the gala. It's coming. It's going to be fun. See, everybody's saying Crowdcast. I knew you would, huh, Diane? Because Diane wants to come on screen and dance with me. Don't you, Diane? It's like prime day for your health. It really is. It's crazy town. We can bring people on. Okay, well, I know we can do it on Crowdcast. I'm just, the problem with Crowdcast is that it's a third-party thing with Facebook, and they don't necessarily like it, and they don't promote it. So what's the point? I may be in the plane during one part of the gala. Well, Kathy, fun. Dancing, June's in. Crowdcast. I knew this was going to happen. So this is important. All right, for you, Sarah. All right, next up. Are you ready for the theme for Full Bloom this year? And I'm telling you, I've been really, really thinking about this, and I'm making sure that I'm not, just out there. It's called. Somebody sing Jeopardy music, but sing it to yourself because I don't want Facebook to shut us down. It's called From Fear to Hear, Answering the Call of Your Heart. Now I'm going to wait and see what you think. What do you think? From fear to hear and answering the call of your heart. How does that feel? How does that feel? Diane's shopping for her new outfit. Do you love it, Sarah? Ah, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. I just want you to know that don't we all have just a little bit of fear creeping around somewhere and hiding in corners in darkness? We all do. All of us. Nobody's above fear. There's a little bit somewhere tucked. And it's a holder backer of things. It's a hold us back from all of the goodness and the juicy vibrancy that we want in our lives. We have to understand and come from the premise, though, of course, that we're enough first. Then we can start getting into it. Oh, good. I think we're going to do that. Donna's saying, awesome. I go Crowdcast. Yes. It is perfect for the first live post-pandemic. Yes, it is. It is. And speaking of Full Bloom, which will be in person, the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. The 10th, if you want to participate in the VIP experience, we're calling it the floating boat because we're going to have cocktails and boating and everything here at my house. You're going to be here at my house for that. And then we're going to move to the big community center and have our whole event there, including our steak dinner. And then Sunday we'll wrap up. The whole thing will be wrapped up. And then it's, if you want to, you can come over to my house for brunch on Sunday. It's totally up to you. It's going to be an experience. It's going to be wonderful. And for those of you who cannot or don't want to, or whatever, travel, we will have a virtual option available as well. But early bird tickets are going on sale this Friday. This Friday, the lowest they'll be. And that's going to be including virtual, and it's going to be including physical seats. And I'm telling you this because this is the important part for you to understand. We need a head count because we have a lot of big moving pieces here. We have a feeling we're going to fill up way more than maybe we anticipated. And we want to be able to, have everything available for you, but this requires planning. So can you do me a favor and go to savingdinner.com/bloom and just put, that's just saying, hey, I want to be a first informer, first one informed and under the radar. I want to know about everything. Just put your name in there and you will get the email first, all of that. Virtually, yes. Yes, we are doing it virtually as well. We want to honor you. So what you will get for that is the whole Saturday day. We will do off and on Facebook Live showing the VIP thing on Friday night. We'll do the thing on Sunday, and you'll be able to get lots of good stuff. Yes. Oh shoot, you can't drive? Hey, that's all right. Fly, Kathy. Yay, I'm so glad. It's nice to see all of that. So anyway, I know I spent a lot of time on all of that, but this is important stuff. This is our connection stuff that we're talking about here. It's big deals, and I want to make sure that we have everything that you need, right? So check this out. New quote of the week. You're going to love it. We first make our habits, and then our habits make us. Isn't that the flippin' truth? Don't you love that one? That was a good cosmic 2x4 because if we allow the habits to do their work, it's going to chisel away at all that stuff that needs to go away. The I don't want us. Come on, chisel. I always think of Michelangelo and what he said about that great big slab of marble. He said that he knew David was inside wanting to come out, and it was just another chunk away, and finally unveiling David that he saw in his mind's eye. That's what our habits do for us. That's how cool that is. I'm going to show you some tools just in a little bit later, but I'm going to show you in relation to what we're talking about. We've got Q&A always every Friday. You know that. Send them into support@savingdinner.com and question for Leanne on Friday. That's all you have to do. And everything else we've talked about. We've talked about all the things. And to me, the big things coming up, well, first of all, we got the gala in July. We've got the new book coming out in August, Getting Off the Carousel of Crazy. I'm just excited about that. And then in September, guess what we get to do? Oh, I forgot about that too. Guess what we get to do in September? Get together for Full Bloom. And this, I'd be remiss to not tell you about this because this is the last day, well, second to last day anyway. On Monday, everything changes. Perfect Paleo Protein, grab it. It's our supplement of the week. And did I tell you how much I like the chocolate? I think I did just a little over the top yesterday. It's ridiculously good. Go to savingdinner.com/show. You can also, with your chocolate order, get a mindful mug for half off. It's a deal. All you have to do is slip it in the cart and we're done. What do you think of that? We do this every single week. So you should be watching for these specials because we like to take good care of you, make sure that you get what you want. Yes, at the best deal possible. Gloria's bucket list is to come do Full Bloom. June says, fear tries to take us away from the gift that is the present. And absolutely 100% true. It's true. That's what fear does. Isn't it? Fear is a poacher, I think. It's a poacher. And, whether we have an endangered feeling, an endangered species, if you will, of new thoughts, fear will come along. Whether it's something that's well established or not, fear will come along. Whether it's something that we know is the best thing in the whole world, fear will come along because fear is a poacher. Fear preys on us always. It always has. And when we know that, we can start doing a little bit better about it. That's a big deal. Let's get busy with this. So, first things first, I said never quitting is the secret sauce. And right? Can I get an amen on that? It really is the secret sauce. And I don't think we really quite understand how amazing making up your mind and making the decision that I just will not quit. I might have to adjust. I might have to refine. I might have to rethink the order in which I'm doing something. But quitting is not an option because I have grit, not quit. You've heard me say that a few thousand times. And it's true. When grit gets into your bloodstream, when grit becomes the thing, you hold on. You hold on for dear life, even when you don't want to, even when it's hard, even when blah, 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 blah. We can all fill in the blank of what those blah, blahs are. But the option of quitting is off the table. That's what grit is. Grit just gets in there and is just like, absolutely not. And also grit gives you an opportunity to see all kinds of possibilities, because grit is the thing that makes all the difference in the world. Think about it this way. We were talking about this in relation to, redoing the deck on our boat. And I said, what if we just put down some paint with some sand in it for grit, so it holds us there, so we don't fall or get slick, because this stupid carpet stuff is ridiculous, right? But that's what grit does. When you do that and you put it out on a deck, it helps to hold you up. It makes it so it's not so slippery to fall. Grit does that. Grit gets in and creates an ability to stand where it wasn't there before. And but I also want to recognize what quitting totally is. It is almost an affirmation, if you will, to surrender. Yeah, white flag, here it goes. It's surrender. Remember surrender, Dorothy? Dorothy didn't surrender, did she? She had to recognize the power in herself before all of it was, and she kept thinking it was other things. Boy, there's a lot of metaphors there with the whole thing. She thought it was the ruby slippers, then she needed to go see the wizard, and all of these things kept getting dashed. Why? Because really, at the end of the day, Dorothy was on the carousel of crazy. She was looking for everything else except for what was within her. Everything else. Magic slippers, killing a witch, a wizard, staying on the yellow brick road. And then finally, when she learns from the good witch, of course, that she had the ability, she had it inside her all along. Light bulb moment. But you give her credit, you give her due, because when she found out, okay, it's not just the yellow brick road, it's not just avoiding flying monkeys, it's not just the Wicked Witch of the West, it's not just getting the munchkins on your side, it's not just the wizard, it's not just this, and it's not just that. It's about discovering what's inside of you and who you are. That's what grit is. Grit is recognizing the frustration that's all around, because it is. We all have frustration, It's recognizing that there isn't one magical moment. There's a lot of little tiny bits along the way, like Hansel and Gretel and the crumbs. Let's go to the next story, shall we? But it's true. We quit because it's not fast enough. We're not getting results quick enough. We want to see something, and we've got our minds set on this, that, and the other thing. I was speaking to a woman who is probably going to be helping us out, by the way. You'll meet her. Her name's Marcy, at Full Bloom. And she's just lovely. She lives here. And she said, years ago, it used to be all about, am I going to look good in those jeans? And she said, now I just want to feel good. I want to wake up every morning feeling really good. And that's what it gets down to, is that we start doing that. We start looking at the things that are important. And that is what puts the grit in and replaces the quit. Because if you quit on yourself, you can't get to the place of feeling good, can you? It's not an option, because you've quit on yourself. You're surrendered to flying monkeys or some, little pipsqueak of a man behind the curtain that your dog revealed. We can't surrender to all these things. We can't allow them either to be much, much bigger than they are, when in reality, these little failures that we are, beating ourselves up with and allowing to completely cloud our lives are just moments of clarity when we understand. And get this, I read this today and I thought this was so good. Let's see if I can find it. It's suspended victory. I thought that was so excellent. What is failure but a suspended victory? It's showing us one more way not to do it. It's Edison moments all over the place. And this is how we start to circle the wagons and start to make the understanding inside of us. You know what? If she can do it, if we can do it, and not allow these moments where it's like, oh, that didn't work. to frustrate us and pull us down and make us quit, then that grit is going to make us that much closer to the things that we want. It's going to bring us that much closer. So let's talk about that, because, and a lot of times, what this is all about being not good enough. We don't think we're good enough. We don't think we're strong enough. We don't have enough willpower, or we're not motivated enough. And we've talked about this endlessly, because it isn't willpower and it isn't motivation. It's setting yourself up for the life that you want to lead, with everything that you do, with your refrigerator, with your pantry, with what do you see around you, with what do you do in the mornings, and what do you think about? All of these things matter. And Lucy said it right there. I am enough. And God bless America and good morning. Yes, you're enough. Of course you are. You're here drawing breath. You're enough. End of story. We don't have to unpack all of that. There is a reason that you're the apple of God's eyes. There's a reason why you're wonderfully and fearfully made. There's a reason. Of course there is. And you're here on purpose and for purpose, of course. And we got to connect with that. That's what our soul work is about. Because it's connecting with that was going to show all the other things that we're looking for. If we live in the beat up zone of it's not fast enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, blah, 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 and I'm frustrated, therefore, this is obviously not the way. Getting back on the carousel of crazy and going looking for the next solution, we find ourselves not in just the place of weight loss and everything, but frustration with all the things that are in our lives. Everything is not in alignment. Everything's out of whack because we feel out of whack. We don't feel in alignment. We connect with our beautiful selves. That's our higher inner self. We all have it. That's God, the Holy Spirit. He's in us. You've heard that. It's weird to mention over and over again in the Bible about He is in us and within us. He is. It's just bizarre thinking about that. What a concept, right? But that's our connection to God. And it's a connection to our world. It's a connection to the people we love. It is a connection. That's where we connect from. It's incredible. Hebrews 11:1. I love this Bible verse. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Do you know what substance means? It means our essence, our nature, who we really are. It's evidence. Faith is the substance of it, evidence of all of that, essence of all of that. That's just a mind-blowing Bible verse. Mind-blowing. So to me, what I look at and when I see this, I see faith and hope. And you know what I see them? Intertwined with grit. Because Jesus never quit, did he? He just kept going, knowing the consequences. You think about every single prophet in the Old Testament. Think about the things that they were faced with. Did they quit? Faced with lions? Nope. Did they quit faced with a big old fish? Nope. Did they quit faced with an ocean that is uncrossable? No. They didn't quit because they had faith and they had hope. And it was intertwined in their own grit, which was right deep down inside of them. And it was praying and recognizing and realizing that connection, that God connection that we all have, should we choose to use it, is there. It's there. And that's where miracles happen. Maybe Red Seas don't get parted. Certainly I have had Red Seas parted in my life, though. Stuff that was just utterly overcomable as far as I could see. And suddenly there was a way. What is that about? It's because faith is the substance of things hoped for. Substance is the essence. It's the nature of. That is foundational. That's a root principle in everyone's life. You can't avoid that. Being a human, we're called to that. We're called to a life of grit. We're called to overcome and to go forward anyway. A life of victory, not a life of victimhood. Not a life of defeat, but a life of one little victory at a time. Taking that one little step, building that bridge from fear to here. That's what it is. That's the whole sum total, part and parcel of what it is to live a life that's vibrant. That's what it is. So when we quit on ourselves or others, you know what we're doing? We are confirming, we're confirming a belief that we aren't enough. We are confirming and affirming something that's simply not true. That we are enough. That we do have the ability to do these things, and that we have within us a tremendous strength, God-given, by the way, God-given. And he didn't go around and say, you know what, Leanne, I'm going to give you a lot. And June, sorry, you're just kind of, I'm going to give you just a sprinkling, right? Did he do that? Did he do it? Did he just say, Lucy, I'm really going to skimp on you? Carol, not quite. Sarah, I'll give you a little bit more. Of course not. You know what he did? He said, here you go. What are you going to do with it? That is one of your gifts. That's one of your talents, by the way. That's one of your talents. Don't go bury it in the backyard. Pull it out and start using it. And I double dog dare you. Let me just say something. That when we start to use these things, and when we start to step up and get into it, even when we don't want to, good grief, good, amazing things happen, because faith is the substance of things hoped for. It is the evidence of things not seen, and you will see the evidence of it. You will see the evidence of the strength that's within you. You will see the evidence of a woman that you didn't even know there. What about that? You'll have a voice in your life. You'll have the ability to rise high and to come low even and say, you know what, it's hard. It's a struggle right here. But you know, I'm never giving up. Because I have grit, not quit. Because I am worth this. Because the people that I love around me, they're worth it too. Because maybe I didn't give him my best. Maybe I didn't do things right. Maybe it was a total mess. So what? Guess what? God's specialty is cleaning up hot messes like you and me. That's what he does all the time. We're not, we're not pulled apart and pulled aside and say, oh, I'm sorry, you're just too much of a mess. I can't deal with that. Aren't you glad? Oh, the God that we serve is a God who says, you are my daughter of the King. Come sit down at the table. Stop being under the table and taking scraps. You are not a dog. We treat ourselves so badly sometimes, and we quit on ourselves all the time simply because we cannot see our value. We can't see our worth. We can't see past this one little obstacle. And we all have those. So, why is this happening? Why do we quit on ourselves? I think a lot of times it's from fear of the unknown, fear of going forward, fear of being misunderstood, fear of somebody thinking something, blah, 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 blah about ourselves because we think that we're performing on a stage for everyone to see. But if we unpack it all, we've unpacked all of fear that week. Remember that? I will say this. It's not just enough to acknowledge fear, which we all have. It isn't. It's enough, though, to acknowledge the fear and to say, even though I can't sort all of this out and understand it all, I'm still going to move forward. Because sometimes things are a little out of order that way. We would like it all to be completely linear. Well, I have this fear. What is that about? I will figure it out. Oh, there it is. I figured it out. And now let's go. It doesn't necessarily work that way. It's more like I have this fear. I want to figure it out. I'm going to go anyway. I have quit. I have grit, not quit. You see? It's all just this jumble. But I believe with all of my heart that with goals, with fear, with moving forward, with having the vibrant lives that we want to live, we leave behind the hows in favor of the whys. Because the hows have a weird way of working themselves out, of presenting themselves at just the right time. Because that's how the reticular activating system works, one of our God-given gifts of how our brain works. And that is also how God works, because he likes to delight and surprise and love us up in that way. Have you noticed that? I have. He has. The things that have happened in my life just in the last 2 years, I've been here 2 years now in Brevard. What a gift that was. And I told Mark at the very beginning, because he did not want to leave Boulder, I told him, I said, we'll just go for a year. We need a break. It's expensive. I'm not feeling great because of the altitude, blah, blah, blah. And here we are. We've landed. We've landed in a place that we love, with people that we love, with a built-in friend, thank God for Marla, and also for people that we're needing now. And also for just seeing things past our own, but it's such a small town, and should we blah, 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 and maybe we should move to Asheville. I mean, seeing things from a different perspective and allowing for growth, new beginnings, and what could be. When we do that and we get out of our little narrow focus, things start to really move. So movement, momentum, forward thinking, acting, and taking action, you know what that is? That's all the remedy, if you will, for the I don't want us, for the quitting on yourself. Just saying, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to move anyway. You know what? I'm going to create this momentum by staying in my habits. That's what our whole thing is about, right? Our habits make us. You know what? I'm going to be forward thinking. If I do this, then I'm going to get that later. That's going to help me. That's going to help me be better. That's going to help me show up and do the things that I want to do, especially when we don't want to. Because I'm going to tell you what, do you think that every day that I jump up and say, oh, goody, I can't wait to work out today? Well, I try telling myself that, but I'm telling you, it's not always the case. But I know, and you know that if I do this, that's my reward for later, right? Staying here, and saying, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. And that little obstacle starts to shrink itself down. It's less of a mountain, more of a molehill. It's not as bad as we thought. So how do we do this? How do we get past this? How do we create sort of our own I have grit, not quit manifesto, because I believe that this is absolutely foundational. It's principle. It's the framework for how you get past a lot of the garbage that holds us back. Because we all struggle, but you have a choice on whether or not you're going to get on the struggle bus. We all have a hard time, but you have a choice on whether or not you're going to wallow in it. Okay? This is big stuff. So stay with me here. So here's what we need to do. We need to use the tools. I've shown you every single one of them. Every single day I do. And you know why I'm doing that? Am I a sales shill? Okay, you can call me that. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But you know what? Every single thing that we have here, you know why we created it? Because I want to see you create the very thing that you need to create. I don't want you to struggle like I did. It took me into my 50s to figure this stuff out. Maybe my environment needs to support me. These quotes that I see on my screensaver, maybe that's not enough. Maybe I need more. And I showed you yesterday, I did I'm calling it the quote deck roulette, which is fun. And I've been taking out cards and letting them work their magic with me and thinking about them a few times during the day. This last one, this is the one I got this morning. If you occasionally accept occasional unacceptable behavior, it's only a matter of time before you'll routinely accept routine unacceptable behavior. That's from Dan Kennedy. What a good word, right? What a good word. That's not that's not permission slip to be a jerk. No, but it's a permission slip to create a boundary. That's what that is. Our quote decks are at savingdata.com/quote. And in them, 52 different ones, all cosmic 2x4s, I guarantee you. And I have this here on my desk looking at me, making sure that I understand that, we have boundaries. And I've put up boundaries all over the place. All over the place, just like you would fence a dog. We have to. It's a loving thing to do for yourself and for others. So we use the tools. We meditate. When we meditate, we go to center. When we go to center, we are nurturing our beautiful selves that contains our heart, our soul, the way we feel, how much we love, the empathy that we have or don't have, the goodness and the mercy and the graciousness. That, those things have to be nurtured. That's what your beautiful self does. Nurtures all of that. so that you can then turn around and just unleash all that love, all that care, all of that right there on all your friends, all of your family, your community. You get to be that person. How about that? Isn't that beautiful? We use our journal because a journal is going to help us with our goals as we write out our I am goals from our journals. Have you seen this? Check it out at savingdata.com/journal. That's our journal. And the journal gives you 12 weeks to build a goal. And you turn around and make them into I am affirmation goal statements. Powerful. 3 of them out of all your hopes and dreams. How about that? About creating the life that you want to lead. That is what we do. You do that and you're in it every single day. There's no failure there. Even if you miss a day, God forbid. Because it's not about being perfect. It's about being excellent. Excellent. We have gratitude in the journal. We have prayer. We have, and I piggyback mine to my meditation. Meditation centered, prayer going up, right? That's right. Goal setting, I am statement goals, gratitude, prayer, sleep. We talked about that on Thursday. That rocked your world, didn't it? It was so amazing. But sleep does have that kind of needle moving power in your life when you understand how to line up and utilize these things. Hydration, supplements, taking them daily. What a concept. I had one woman tell me, she said, I just don't want them I don't want them to run out. Well, they're going to. They're not magic beans, that just suddenly one appears if they go. It makes a big difference. Movement, food. And, we have to remember what is food? It is 100% only information for your body. Now, it can be inflammatory information and just continually stoking that fire of inflammation wherever it is in your body. Or it can be nutritional information to help heal, correct, and create a goal for you. Help create the life that you want to live. Help create your vibrancy because you're fueling your life. That's what food's about. And then remember the story of buried treasure. I think I told that the other day. But when we stop short of our goal, it's just like the guy who had the gold buried in his backyard, and he finally just said, "Oh, I give up." Threw down the shovel, sold his land for nothing. And then the next owner came along and just started digging. 10 digs later, found the buried treasure. This is what happens when we quit on ourselves. We are that close to the buried treasure that we will discover on our way to vibrancy, that we will discover about ourselves. Inside of you, inside of me, inside of every single human being on this planet is buried treasure. It's your strength. It's your love. It's all the things that you want and desire. And it's all possible when you discover that buried treasure of strength is what it is. Number 3, you don't have to feel like it. You just have to do it. You ever hear that from me? It's the truth. It is the truth. When we want to quit and we don't, and we do it anyway, that is the reward. And guess what we get? Guess what the payoff is from that one? You know exactly what it is. You feel good and you build your grit muscle. And doesn't it feel good to exercise that? Doesn't it feel good? Now, there is a fabulous story, and I got permission from Sarah to talk about this, but I want you to go read Sarah's story from yesterday. She's talking in there about some things, some challenges that she's been through, and how this particular company just said, here's basically gave her a swag bag. And don't we all love a good swag bag, right? She opens it up, and what's in it? Her favorite candy. And we all have them, don't we? I certainly have mine. It's all crap. It's all garbage. We all know that. We're not sitting here saying, oh, well, it should have been Lily's because that's, stevia dark chocolate, superfood. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the crap that's in the Halloween bags. That's what we're talking about here. And in that were some fun 4 little almond joys. And the almond joys were looking at her. And what does her sweet husband say? Well, honey, you can have them if you want. Thinking that's the loving thing to do. He knew how much she loved them. And then she's like, no, if you're not going to eat them, I want to throw them away. So he's like, okay. And, getting ready to throw them. What does she do? She unwraps them, puts them down the garbage disposal, and turns on the water, and down they're gone. The reason that she did this is because those, as much as she would have enjoyed the maybe eating them for a minute, she knew it's going to be this much of that and this much of regret for later, and inflammation and pain and everything else that came. That's the big picture analysis of what she wants for her life. That's her vibrancy calling. That's her vibrancy saying, hey, Sarah, really? Is this what you want? And Sarah's like, yeah, cool, vibrancy. I get it. I'm in the process of dealing with this. We have to. He took all the Reese's, Snickers, and Kit Kats. There was a bunch of candy there. You basically got a Halloween thing, didn't you? A Halloween bag. Grit, not quit. Staying the course, even in the face of the greatest temptation. Now, does this mean that Sarah is now cured and forever and ever, amen? She's just going to, she's saying, I'm got this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell you right now a story about somebody that I know very well, me. And that's the story of being arrogant. I've got this. This is fine. Blah, 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 blah. And not staying the course. Because listen, I've gone up, I've gone down. I share my carousel of crazy stories. I share my food addiction stories. And I share them because if we approach something with even just the smattering of arrogance, like we've got this, that's when the weasels come in. The weasels come and they try to weave their way through all of your stuff. Don't they? Take down. Weasels are weasels. Weasels are weaselly. And we don't need weasels in our lives. We need to whack-a-mole. We need to whack a weasel is what we need to do. And recognize when that arrogance comes, that arrogance on the tail end of that arrogance, you know what it is? Just this once. Well, just a little bit won't hurt. Well, I've been so good. All this crazy nonsense. And that disconnects us from our vibrancy because it puts us back in the place of thinking we've got it all together. And honestly, nobody does. Not a soul on the planet does. There's always something there willing to tear you down, willing to take you apart. Nobody does. And that's where we need to come from. That's the place that when we're vibrant, that's a place of tenderheartedness too, of hearing our own stuff, calling ourselves out on our own crap, because we have to. Yeah, just this once. That might be, okay for you, but not okay for me. Just this once is not the thing, not the place that I need to go. Maybe just this once works for you, but from 90% of the women that I have counseled over the last almost 30 years, not a lot of them work well with just this once because of our addictive personalities. So we use the tools. We have tools. We are bridge builders from fear to here, because that's where it is. And when we build that bridge, we are building the bridge to vibrancy. On this side of the bridge, that's where fear lives. That's the troll under the bridge, isn't it? The troll, like intimidating you and trying to make you feel bad, beating you up, and it's all garbage. You can tell the troll where to get off, and you can say, I'm going to take that step anyway. What are you going to do, troll? Because remember, you're on the bridge, he's underneath it. All you have to do is stick out your foot and kick him right in the teeth. Right in the teeth. Sarah said, I have a lifetime of just this once not working. Oh, amen. We all do. I should probably name a chapter just this once in the new book, because just this once is screwed me up so many times I can't even tell you. So we use our tools, and we keep in mind what these tools are doing. They are creating the actual framework for how we're going to live our lives. Amen. Amen. Remember the story of buried treasure. And number 2, when you don't feel like it, you do it anyway, and you get the reward on the end. And knowing it's going to come, knowing that as you hear the garbage disposal destroy and take down all that candy that you would have loved to have eaten, but known that later you would have regretted horribly. That's when you celebrate. That's when you celebrate. Number 4 is you value your time. You know, wasn't it, I think June was talking about how the present is the gift. It certainly is. Killing time is the equivalent of saying, I don't care, right into the face of God. And he knows, he's looking at you going, you do know that I know exactly how many days left you have, right? Yeah, you do know that. And I know the exact numbers of hairs on your head. Not only that, but if you take that one out, I'm going to call it out. That's number 785. You do know that I know all this, right? He's the one who gave you breath. He's the one who put you here on purpose for purpose. He's the one who said, it's important to the world that Sarah Preston shows up, that Lucy Hayes is here, that Darla Tyler is here. He's the one who said, the world would not be what it needs to be unless we had Jenny Mason on this planet. He's the one who did this. He's the one. You know, so if you don't like it, if you don't feel it, or you're not loving it, go talk to God about it. But understand, you're here on purpose and for purpose. That's never going to change, ever. And that's why we have to go from fear to here. That's why we have to continually build that bridge. That's why we're always looking for opportunity to take failure and to step on it instead of saying it's going to pull me down. No, ma'am. You have grit, not quit. We value time like money. When we do, we start to see it as something. Is it worthy of spending money on this? Is it worthy of my time? Those things are valued. You can't get them back. You can't just sit there and make a bonfire. You could out of paper money if you wanted to, but is that going to help? Is that going to help you pay your mortgage next month? Your failure is nothing. Number 5 is nothing more than a chance to revise and refine your strategy. Every single day, you have an opportunity to do that. It's a suspended victory. I wish I knew where I found that, but I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. You know, we've all been through this, from the experience over here to the experience over there. We all process it differently. I'm just asking you to process it and look at it with different eyes. I'm asking you to understand that when you do pull out this grit that we all have, that all resides inside of us, that's when the victory comes. You know, that's when the victory comes. And I will further say that remember that being all in is so much easier than just doing it half-ass, right? Even 90%, 95%, because the mental strain of just like, should I or shouldn't I, blah, 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 back and forth, back and forth. Go all in. Be there 100%. Just say, that's it. No. I've made up my mind. Because I'm going to tell you right now, your inner badass is calling you. Yeah, that's right. And you know what she said? She told me this. She said, oh, these women here, they have got grit, not quit. They've got grit, not quit. So you know what my parting words to you are? You've already got it. So use it. Will you? Pinkies up. It's time to use the grit. Flex that grit muscle. You've got this 100% all in, just like Lucy. Confidence is seeing yourself the way God sees you. That's beautiful. And it's true. All right. I see some pinkies. I love a good pinky. And I really appreciate the fact that you hung out in there with me. This is a lot to unpack today, but this was the end of our little hinges series. And the grit, not quit, man, I think that's a big fat hinge. What do you think? I appreciate you all. Tomorrow, remember, we are dark tomorrow. So make sure that you're taking advantage of our supplement of the week by going to savingdinner.com/show. And also get yourself signed up for our early bird full bloom messages by going to savingdinner.com/bloom so you can get your early bird ticket. And number 3, last but not least, don't forget who you are and why you're here. You're here on purpose and for purpose. And that is enough. Yeah? Amen. Peace be with you. I'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.